hit by reduced payouts. CEO of Trusted, Grant Roberts, remains confident.
Trusted can be trusted.
While I was doing research for this video, I saw that the comic book stars Tessa and She, who are portrayed in this movie, were based on real local comic books. Okay, they were called photo bookies, but you get my point. I know right now I'm not conveying the excitement I felt when I first saw these pictures, but trust me, I was. Photo bookies was a term coined for magazines featuring action photographs accompanied by comic strip style captions. They combined Inzomi Zase-America with African settings. They were most often written by black student authors based in Joburg. Photo bookies aimed at both the English and Afrikaans-speaking markets were popular between the 1950s and the early 1980s. Although mainly aimed at the white population, they were also produced for the black and brown South African population of Nelson Mandela's future Rainbow Nation. Abantu Bamnyama were also supporters of this novel literature. The popular She in the series True Africa appeared between 1964 and the late 1970s. The actress in this series was Linda Mhlongo. Other titles included Grace, Sister Faith, and the Township Housewives. Tessa, the lead in this movie, was a platinum blonde martial arts master government agent who fought evil in a bikini and high heels. Seriously, most of the covers I saw, if not all the covers I saw, she was half naked, but that body... I love art that directs me to more art. Unfortunately, all I can find online are covers, and the secondhand bookstore I loved dearly closed down. Let's get into this.
It's time to be heroes.
You're Tessa. Tessa the sixth to have a license.
They took it for drunk driving.
Is she on drugs?
CHEMO CLUB is a stokvel of thieves. The members' sole objective is to steal money from a bank, a heist, a robbery, whatever you want to call it. Their plan is simple. They will get rich quick by pulling off a heist, just one heist. And guess what? They did. Their very first heist was the last. The foursome who make up the CHEMO CLUB are all connected through comic books. The two ladies, Lulu and Faith, were the stars of the comic books, Tessa and She. Gerald was the photographer, and Usivu, the baby of the group, loved comic books so much that he based his whole future on them. The whole tone of this movie is comedic, which made it easier for me not to expect a little realistic tension that's palpable in heist movies. The stokvel is small, only 4 members, which means they needed to wear multiple hats in order to make their vision a success. Traditionally, heists have multiple characters who are all experts in their respective field.
Need gold.
Okay, old people.
Whatever happens.
There is the muscle, the comic relief, the attractive and talented woman, the driver, the mastermind, the unpredictable loose cannon, the insider who knows all about the target, a foreigner with an accent, the nerd or tech guy, the OG being called back out of retirement, there's a demolitions expert, a reluctant participant worried about getting caught, and the Casanova. The joy of watching a heist movie isn't in the end result, but in seeing how things come together because there are different philosophies, energies, skills, egos, and vices, learning to work together. CHEMO CLUB only has 4, which, like I said before, would have been an issue if CHEMO CLUB wasn't as lighthearted as it was.
And me, She and Tessa. To the CHEMO CLUB.
The editing really made this film. Since Isteringse were comic book stars back in the 70s, the switch from real world to comic book style was nice. I can appreciate the juxtaposition of the old ladies and their comic book past turned alter ego selves. Every time Tessa and She got on screen, they were fighting men who stood between them and their goals. Another thing that I noticed is that the comic book style changed every time it was used, and it was even used for certain scene transitions. That was cute.
How about some empathy here?
Faith and Lulu are pensioners who aren't enjoying their golden years. After working their whole lives, they are left struggling and scraping for crumbs. For Faith, her old age is burdened by her family. Yes, burdened. Her struggle was taking care of her children. Now, don't get me wrong. She is doing it out of love, and her daughter lost her job, and now the financial responsibility is Faith's. I understand that, but what I don't understand and what made me use the word burden, a word that evokes images of oppression instead of something more agreeable like help, was because after Faith spent a whole day standing in a queue at the bank, she went home and was greeted by an adult woman who didn't have the sense to at least prepare a meal for her provider. She is adding more stress and tension. Nomthwalo. She's adding umthwalo to an already old woman. And when Faith heard the baby of the family complain about being hungry, she, after a long day of being on her feet, offered to cook. Umthwalo. Her grown daughter was at home the whole day and didn't even cook. She didn't even think of preparing supper. She waited for her elderly mother to come home and cook.
It's very 80s. You're Tessa. Tessa the sex goddess.
Tessa.
Lulu's struggle was really her own doing. Not the terminal cancer, but her solitary, cold, dull, unappealing life. Her philosophy was, I'm 70 years old, I'm licensed to piss people off. She came across as entitled and rude. It's possible that led to her not having any support system around her until she started the Stokvel, and that improved everyone's lives.
Lying. Mistaken, perhaps.
Where's Tessa and she when you leave her?
You see, you are grannies. You're supposed to like crochet things as a hobby, not.
CHEMO CLUB was written and directed by Thandi Brewer. She's quoted saying, "This movie is a unique spin that shies away from the normal testosterone and machismo. It's an offbeat comedy caper with a very South African, deadly serious, female empowering heart. It is a story of unlikely friendships and underdogs triumphing over the apparent, insurmountable odds of cancer, bankruptcy, and a society that ignores them. Never surrender."
Who have arrested us?
My cocaine, Italian job, that's me.
It's time to be heroes.
You don't have a license.
They took it for drunk driving.
Is she on drugs?
Yes.
If you're new here, my name is Uvoni. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Follow me on my social medias. They will be linked in the description bar. Bye-bye.